Hello there and welcome to World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. We're here on Mountain Pass Summer and I'm in the Sherman III. So this is a video I'd almost forgotten that I'd done. I don't know what exactly was going on at the time that it slipped my mind, but I meant to upload this when it happened, which is several weeks ago now. But I suppose it's better late than never. So we're in a tier 5 battle, mainly tier 5, and we're top tier, so I'm willing to take a Sherman down this side of the map. Normally I wouldn't be willing to take a tank that's lightly armoured like the Sherman down this side of the map if there were higher tier tanks in the game. But against tier 5s the frontal armour is actually reasonable enough, especially if you angle it, and it is possible to snipe around the corner, especially if you've allies, without being kind of the centre of attention or attracting too much fire. So far we've driven down, there's nobody here, and basically everyone's just rushing for the corner. So approaching the corner, I don't want to expose too much of my tanks, so I'm slowing down quite considerably, and other people spotted the tanks for me, and I just want to expose enough my tank to get some fire on the Covenanter without exposing myself to any of his buddies. Now I pull back because I'm taking some fire and I want to give people the opportunity to shoot something else, so that when I pull out again the guns won't be directly pointing at me. So I edge back out and the Covenanters pull back, so I push out a bit further and so you get a shot on his Wolverine. The Covenanter comes back out and I manage to finish him off. So I pull back again. Wolverine's quite dangerous, really don't want to be hit by him. Not the best shot on the turret of the Wolverine, but we managed to drop it into him and finish him off. So as we're doing that, some tanks appear on the bridge, and one of them is an Su-85. I really don't want to be placing the front of an Su-85, so I'm trying to do as much damage as well as pointing some other way. So I start pulling back, and there's an AT-2 passing the Su-85. I get a shot into him, but decided I still don't want to be out in the open, so I'm pulling back so the trees are screening me. I can probably still be seen, so I pull back further and the Su-85 is joined by Matilda. Now, I don't have a shot at the Su-85, but somebody finishes him off, and I'm getting some shots after Matilda. Now I think he angles his armour slightly here, and I think I'm hitting the tracks directly, so I'm actually having an effect. So I move my point of aim slightly, and I start getting effective fire into him again. So that's the Matilda gun. Now at this point it looks quite nice from our perspective. We have 9 kills, they've only got 4, and down there in the southwestern corner it looks like we're outnumbering them like, what, 2 to 1? There's 5 of us against, it looks like 2 of them. Keep an eye on that corner. So my plan at this point is to pull in, push up at E3, E2 towards the base, so that I can either threaten the base or threaten the guys holding the corner. However, the AT-2 appears at the end of the pass there in the mountains, so I decide that the AT-2 in the rear of my allies will probably be quite devastating. It's a very strong tank with very powerful frontal armour, and a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. It's got a very rapid rate of fire. Gun's got decent penetration, doesn't do a lot of damage, but and it isn't terribly accurate, but it doesn't matter because it makes up for any lack of accuracy by sheer rate of fire. So I've loaded the skill rounds, premium rounds, because penetrating even the sides of an AT-2 is problematic. Managed to track him, which stops him from shooting me, and then I start putting rounds into his engine, hoping to fire basically. The second one didn't penetrate, and I was just taking a hit from the rear of the artillery. So once I got untracked, I moved forward to make life a little bit harder for the artillery, and I managed to finish off the AT2. So now I swing back around. We have that tank in the corner outnumbered 2-1. Although it's now 1-1, I'm beginning to wonder did I make the right decision, because while we outnumbered them 5-1 at once, or 5-2. They've now brought it down to a 1-1 fight. But I have the option of coming around the rear of that tank. So I pop up and there's a T-67 on the ridge, and he's come down to engage with me. He's got a pretty powerful gun too normally, so I don't want to take too much fire from him. He has to be rid of. However, we're doing more damage than he is. So we finish him off, and I've decided that the best thing to do probably is go and help the tank destroyer that's up against the enemy heavy tank. However, oh yeah, he's still there. I thought for a minute that he had been destroyed. But as I reach the corner here, he's actually been destroyed. The tank destroyer has won the fight. However, there's somebody capping our base. So the priority really should be for the team to go back and reset the cap. I'm heading in the right direction, and this is probably the fastest route. The tank destroyer has decided to go the other way, and the artillery is hovering around. The artillery isn't the best tank to reset the cap because it's got very long aiming time and usually horrible dispersion and usually very little armour. So I'm driving along here as fast as my tracks can carry me, and the cap is really building up. So I was beginning to wonder at this point, would I make it? Or would the artillery have to make a do or die effort to reset the cap before I got there? So as I push around the corner, the artillery decides to have a go at it, see if he can reset the cap. Because he knows the support is coming. If he gets any kind of a reset shot at all, he's sorted. Now I get a critical on the first shot, which does actually reset the cap. The artillery then tries and tracks the enemy, but gets worked out for his troubles. Take a pretty solid hit there, and I'm using the artillery as cover. And that last shot's a weird one. Yeah, it goes off to one side. But anyway, I managed to wipe him out, and I have 6 kills, so that's a top gun. So I've secured the victory. Nearly 2,000 points of damage, got high caliber, got ace tanker, got defender, top gun. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please press subscribe to subscribe to the channel, and press like if you enjoyed the video. So that's all folks, and see you again soon.